sun is the center of a great system of planets and moons, of asteroids, comets, and meteors, called the solar system. Solar system lie the stars. Many of these stars seem grouped in certain patterns. The constellation chart will help us study some nearby groups of stars. Looking north, we can find some familiar constellations. Dipper, Draco, Cassiopeia, and Cepheus. The name of the Big Dipper comes from the fact that its 7 main stars seem to outline a long-handled dipper in the sky. The Big Dipper is a guide to the North Star. A line through these 2 stars points directly at it in the handle of the Little Dipper. Nearby is Cassiopeia, like an M or a W, depending on its position when we see it. Cassiopeia is named for a queen in Greek mythology. The 5 main stars outline the throne on which Cassiopeia sits. Cepheus was the husband of Cassiopeia. The 3 main stars seem to form the crown of King Cepheus. Draco curves around the Little Dipper. Draco means dragon. The constellations of the northern sky that we have been looking at are called circumpolar. Circumpolar means around the pole. Let's see what that means. Our Earth turns on an imaginary axis. The end of this axis at the North Pole points almost directly at the North Star, which is also called the Pole Star. As the Earth turns on its axis, it seems to us that the stars of the circumpolar constellations are slowly turning around the Pole Star. As seen from most parts of our country, these constellations never go below the horizon. Photographs that have been taken with the camera shutter open for several hours show the circular paths these circumpolar constellations make around the Pole Star. Other familiar constellations farther from the pole seem to rise and set. The brightest of all these constellations is Orion, the giant hunter. Orion can be seen in the southern night sky from about November to April. These 3 bright stars in a straight line make Orion even. Here are the 3 bright stars of Orion as we see them in the sky. The 3 stars form a belt. A cord hangs down from it. The other stars suggest a body, arms, legs, a club, and a shield. There are interesting stories about all the constellations named by people of ancient times who first studied the stars. But today we know much more about stars. Stars are suns, like our own sun, which is 93 million miles from Earth. The next nearest star, Alpha Centauri, is 250,000 times as far away, nearly 25 trillion miles. Distances in space are so tremendous that astronomers have invented a better unit of measure for them than the mile. Light from the sun reaches us in about 8 minutes. Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. In 1 year, light can go nearly 6 trillion miles. This distance is called 1 light year. The light year is a more convenient unit than the mile for measuring astronomical distances. Alpha Centauri is 4 3/10 light years away. Stars differ in a number of ways. Prominent in Orion is the star Betelgeuse. It is nearly 300 light years away. Betelgeuse is red, and it is classed as a giant star. Our yellow sun, a medium-sized star, is almost 1 million miles in diameter. Betelgeuse is so big that if our sun were at its center, the orbit of our Earth would be inside the red giant. Betelgeuse is red because its surface temperature is about 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Blue-white stars are the hottest, with temperatures as high as 50,000 degrees. The temperature of stars, their size, and distance help determine whether they appear bright or dim to us. The brightest star we can see in the sky is in a constellation near Orion. Here is the star Sirius in Canis Major. Although Sirius seems to be a single bright star, it is actually a double star. Its companion is too dim to be seen. In the upper left is another double star system. These photographs were taken over a 12-year period. Many multiple systems of stars have been found. Another interesting fact about stars is that some of them explode. Dim stars may suddenly grow 100,000 times as bright in a tremendous explosion. Such an exploding star is called a nova, which means new star. Sometimes a star explodes to 1 billion times its original brightness. This kind of star is called a supernova. This mass of glowing gas, called the Crab Nebula, is believed to be the remains of a supernova observed in the year 1054 by Chinese astronomers. But not every hazy object in the sky is the result of an exploding star. Here in the Sword of Orion is a tremendous amount of glowing gas in a state of violent motion. It has been named the Great Nebula of Orion. The Great Nebula is about 25 light years in diameter. Its glow is probably caused by the energy of nearby stars. Just below Orion's belt is a dark nebula of dust and gases that blocks out distant starlight. It is called the Horsehead Nebula because of its shape. Many scientists believe that nebulas are the raw materials from which stars are made. This dim, hazy mass of light in the constellation Hercules is about 36,000 light years away, but it is not a nebula. It is a great cluster of at least 100,000 stars, one cluster of many that seem to surround the great mass of stars that is the Milky Way. The Milky Way also contains bright nebulas and dark nebulas. Scientists believe the Milky Way is a great whirlpool of more than 1 billion stars, with star clusters all around it. This whirlpool is called a galaxy. The Milky Way is believed to be about 100,000 light years across and 10,000 light years thick. All this is our galaxy. And our sun, with its solar system, is just a tiny part of it, and is thought to be about here. But our galaxy is only one of countless other galaxies that are scattered throughout the space we call the universe. The Great Nebula in Andromeda is a spiral galaxy of stars very much like our own. It is believed to be 1,500,000 light years away. Still farther from our galaxy are other types of galaxies, some like our own, some different. The universe contains countless numbers of these great systems of stars. As far as we can see with our most powerful telescopes, there are galaxies extending billions of light years into space. Is there an end to the universe? No one knows. We can only wonder at all that scientists have already learned, and at all there is yet to learn about the great systems of stars in space, the vast distances between the stars and between the galaxies, about everything that lies in the universe beyond the solar system.